Alright, I'm just gonna record the stuff that I do so other people can get examples and maybe help it out, like how we're doing what we say we're doing. I'm using Skype for Business, which actually came with my Windows 10, so that is nice. So I'm just gonna share my desktop. Alright, so first off, actually share. There we go. It's sharing. Okay. Looks like Jessica made or pushed some branches, two of them. This one's reorganizes files to allow files outside www. She didn't make a pull request, so I just went ahead and made a pull request, but it has a conflicting file, so um, we're gonna resolve the conflict for this. So this happened because two files changed, and Git doesn't know how to reconcile those changes, so we have to do it somewhat manually. I'm gonna start VSCode while that's going. So what we're gonna have to do is pull it down and do it there. So um, I'm just on my desktop. I'm just gonna do git clone. And it automatically clones into Google files, so we'll just cd in there. Status. So this is up to date with master. Why is that over? Nothing to commit, which is how it should be. So we're gonna do a git fetch, which gets a remote branch without, or branches without actually switching to them. So then we do git branch, and it should happen there, and it doesn't. But following the directions here. This is just saying check out a branch, but with this, make it a new branch, make it a new local branch, make it into with a name of reorganized files, and then it's gonna pull the branch from origin, which is GitHub right now, and then the reorganized files branch there. And so this it's set up to track remote branch. So I like to do another full origin reorganize because I just don't trust it sometimes. It was up to date anyway, so we're all good. So now I'm going to, instead of merging this into master, I'm going to merge master into this. So this just says merge the master branch into this branch. So take all the differences in master and apply them to this branch. And this is just, this is Vim. To get out of it, it's just the message that's going in there. I just leave it as a default message. But you do escape, :Q. And it looks like that actually worked. So then we can get checkout master. Actually, probably even get push this right now. I'm not sure how GitHub does this, but it might automatically update. And let's reload this. And that fixed it. So that was a really easy one. It just, master had been committed to a few times. So there was changes there that weren't in this one. And going from reorganized files to master didn't work, but going from master to reorganized files did work. So on here, I'll just go ahead and merge the pull request, confirm. And now it's 22 commits. And this is a new file structure. And then these messages are just the last time it changed. That's what the commit message was, so it may or may not have to do with what the actual file is. Alright, so there was one other branch that hadn't been merged yet. All these have been merged, so let's create a new pull request. And again, this is Jessica adding some database code. So let's just create pull request. And there's no conflict, so we can just merge pull requests. Alright, so go back to our branches. Everything's been merged, we're all up to date. And if you look here, this tells you how many commits each one is. So our default branch is master, and these tell us how many commits behind or ahead each of these branches are. So the ones further down are going to be way behind. So this one's 23 commits behind. None of these are ahead, so they don't have anything, or master has everything that all these branches have. So that's what we want. So now I'm going to go back to Git, and I'm going to do Git checkout master. And because master on remote has been updated, we need to pull it again. Git pull origin, which is GitHub master, which is the branch. And here you can see everything that changed. This had basically a new file, so there's 21 lines in it. And then like here's the ones that moved in GitHub, or in Git, not GitHub. When you move something, it counts it as a quote unquote rename. So if you see those, that's usually things that have been moved. Sometimes it's just a rename, but like this one moved into the www folder. Alright. So now, previously, before this, I had gone to the site on Canvas and gotten these. So those are in my downloads. I'm going to go ahead and open another one here, and if you press the Windows key and arrows, it nicely puts the windows in a nice order around so that you can easily resize them. Alright, so here on master, I'm going to make a new branch, git checkout -b for a new branch, and then I'm going to make it in class 927. So now we're going to apply the changes from here. So we have the here, so when you clone a repository, it doesn't matter where you clone it to, as long as it has the Git in it. So we're just doing cleanup and merging files in. So we really don't need it in the actual web directory unless we want to test it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to source, and I'm going to put a new folder and have this be database files. Now, these are from the book. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all these in there. I'm sure we're going to move stuff around, but this way they're actually in the repository. So before I go on, I'm going to go ahead and commit this. So in Git, I do git status, and it sees that that folder has been added. So I do git add -a, it adds all of them. And that's just, this is the lines. I'm not sure exactly where it's set and where it's not, but there they are. It changes it from LF to CRLF, which is the Windows one. So here, we do git status again. There are all the new files, and they're all green, so they'll all be added to the commit. So I'm going to do a git commit -m for message, and added database PHP files from book that were uploaded to campus. Do git status, and everything's committed. So now we can just push this up, and it'll be there. I'm not going to push it up quite yet. Another neat thing is you can do git log, and these are the various commits. So like this one at the top is the one I just did, added database files. And then you can see just the history of like merge pull requests. And this is what it'll look like on GitHub too. If you look at it, you can actually do that. If we go to code, branches, master, or maybe it's commits. Yeah, there we go. So you'll see this is usually like the last 4 of this, I believe, or no, they do the first 4. So then, yeah, you got like the first 4 there. And this is the actual hash of the commit. So that's just a little side knowledge there. And you can press Q to get out of that too, or Control C, depending on how your computer's set up. So we have the other set of files. So that was the database files. Oh, so this has been set up to ignore the NV project. So since we actually do want those files, we'll go ahead and save that, remove it. So now this is only going to keep out VSCode files and files from PHP Storm at the moment. We can add more to these, but because not everybody's using these, I went ahead and added them so that I won't infect the repository with my IDEs. And so it'll just have the NetBeans project, and then that is going to now be under version control. So if we get status, get add -a, get status. So now we have to commit to git ignore, and then it will end up picking up. Actually, I don't think we do. We might. We'll see here. So back to here, the www folder. we are going to go ahead. I don't think we wanted um, this one. Let's try VSCode. Oh. Yeah, so I don't think we really want this one anymore, but I'll go ahead and leave it in there. We can delete it later. So I'm just going to go ahead, copy all these, and I think it's going these, and I'm just going to overwrite. Actually, you should have done this the other way. So which ones didn't get copied over? Actually, let's try that. You get status, and those are the ones that change. Those are the ones that are new. So let's get if. Actually, so this is where visual is really good. So I like VSCode with one of their plugins. I don't have it yet. That's nice. Yeah, don't worry about that. Extensions. Why are you not? Oh, I'm not opening anything yet. There we go. So this gives a visual idea of what has changed in GitLens. And we can do that different ways. This is standard control or source control. Here are the stage changes, which I already just staged, and these are the changes that are not staged yet. So you can actually click this, and usually it's not working. Let's set that. Oh, there we go. So, because this one wasn't here, everything is added new. So that's cool. So they're untracked. That's what that is there. The M is modified. Untracked is like new. So here's this one. And let's go ahead and open these up first. So this is the file as it is. You can see where the commits were, who changed it, when and where. Well, not where, but then we can actually see in here and get lens. That's not what I wanted. looks like difference between that. Yep. So I don't really think there's that much. I think there's just a space. And then this one with the space. Cool. So that one doesn't have very much. Index. So this is a good one. So this is today's changes. And these are everything that's been added. So if we looked at index here, it doesn't show it. It shows uncommitted changes, but that's just the regular source code. Then over here it shows it's actually changed between the last one. So that's all good. New HTML. Yeah. So here's the SQL. And git ignore. Which should be staged. And then the database. Oh, I'll have to install that later. I'm gonna actually do it through this, which might be easier for people. So you can see down here, it tells you what branch you're on, and you can click that, and they'll give you all the branches and remotes. You can switch there or do a new branch. So I'm gonna go ahead and stage all the changes, and then I'm gonna say added files from 27 2000. And then you hit control. You can either do this or control, and it just committed that. And then I like to control. You press this one down here, and it both pulls and pushes, and it gets everything up to date. I like to go up here and just do push. Okay. Looks like it's not quite set up. So let's get here. Nothing always works. Get push. I'm not exactly sure why it didn't work, but or maybe it's publish branch. That's what I should have done. But in either case, it worked here. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually check this to make sure there's no other changes. And now I can just double click here if you do it from the command line, and it'll actually take you right to a pull request. And the reviewers: Jessica, Mr. B, Jennifer, Lauren, and Paige. Sketchdog review. And then create pull request. And it can just be merged in. I'm not going to merge it, maybe somebody else could. And then in this merge request, there are two commits that are not in master. And then right here, you can actually view like what changed in that. So I removed in the git ignore, I removed the NetBeans project so that it will actually start tracking that now. And then it added all those. And then we go back to commit. Actually, that's a lot more. Oh, this was the second one. Actually, I don't know why. Oh, there we go. View all changes. Now this has everything that was added or removed, and where the file was. Alright. So, I'm not sure what. Oh, and you can put comments here. If you just want to review it and say that it looks good and somebody else can merge, you can do that. Or you can say that it was not good and that it needs work, or whatever you want to do. So there's 2 commits in this, and it can be merged. So what we would do is we would go to pull requests. There's one open here. You go in there, and if you like the changes, you can do merge pull requests. If we go to code and branches, now the branch is there, and as you can see here, it is 0 commits behind master. So master was up to date when this one was branched off, and now it's 2 commits ahead of master, and there's an open pull request for it. So that's that.